President William Ruto saw a money pit or a gold mine, to say. When he came into power, he instructed that all the ministries should pay all their fees and all their collections through e-citizen. And he ordered that every other agency that is related with the government, including schools, universities, and everyone else, to pay their money or their fees through the e-citizen. Of course, he knew it was a corruption, because how do universities receive fees through e-citizen? Who will divide that? Who will go organizing that money so that the university get that money in time to be able to offer services that they're supposed to offer? If it's a secondary school, how do you get that money on time to be able to pay for the things that you're supposed to pay from the school fees? So you don't have the control of the account. So the money is going somewhere else. Anyway, to cut the long story short, e-citizen, President William Ruto decided it's going to be his business. And when he said that the private entity should stop managing the e-citizen, he saw an opportunity. All he wanted was to draw out the people who owned or who were controlling e-citizen. And in fact, they came out. And when they came out, he gave them an offer. And he said, you take it, leave it. I want 80%. And out of the 5 shillings that is collected on e-citizen, 3 shillings goes to President William Ruto. Those are the statements made by Gachagua, not me. So, msikuja kuni abduct. Hii ni story iko in public. So, finally, I have a story that I heard. I don't know how true it is. And someone told me last year that wait until you hear the scandals of e-citizen. That the president and his people have full control of e-citizen, and it is not the ministry or treasury. That they control where this money goes. And I was prepared last year that there was a corruption, there was a revelation that was going to come out on how e-citizen is actually a conduit to steal public money. And it has come to pass. So, simple. E-citizen is controlled by Ruto. And Ruto is e-citizen. And there's nothing Kenyans can do, because we are dealing with a criminal enterprise. They don't care. And they are stealing every day. So, who will hold him accountable?
Okay, so approximately how much do we lose to President Ruto from e-citizen?
So, there are 3 payments that have been paid. Of course, the Auditor General raised about 12, 13 issues. And 5 of them were about illegal payments. For example, there are these payments that were done. Where is it? These payments were done. For example, you see, Auditor General has broken these numbers into many parts, running from 2023 all the way to now. And a total of what has been projected right now that probably has gone to William Ruto himself is about 10 billion. Let's say that is what is believed that probably has gone to somewhere we don't understand where it has gone. But there's more that has been lost. What was the figure the other day? Was it 100 and what? Was it 100 billion?
100 billion.
That they were talking about. Okay, wachana hizo namba kubwa. But these other smaller numbers, I was reading on what actually left the e-citizen, and there was no paperwork, and there's no way to prove that this money was paid. It's about 10 billion so far. The rest, wanaweza kusema, oh, we paid this, we paid that, they can be able to prove, but 10 billion, this is the money that I think mkubwa anajua ziko wapi.
Okay, so the issue of corruption and the amount of money that we lose as a country is big. Just the other day, bado, I think 1 month ago, kuwa na rumors that 44 billion is from the e-citizen, still on the same case. And it has something that has been there, a discussion that we've been having. Remember, hata tukiachana na for the e-citizen, there's a time during the former president, that is Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, he said that we are losing close to 1 billion a day, 2 billion a day.
2 billion per day.
Yeah. So, but let us circle it back to the current regime and the current problem that we are having. Let us not dwell much in the past. I have a concern that because all that money that we are losing, and it's good that the figures are coming from the government, not from a whistleblower, not from an individual
That's the most
citizen.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's the most beautiful thing, that is coming from the government themselves. Now, I have a question when it comes to this thing, because if we are losing all this money and we find that some of the most basic important needs that we need sorted as soon as possible, as a party, the funding that's supposed to be doing, yet we are losing all this money. There's an issue with capitation for the schools. We have issue with the health system, that is the SHA, to SHA to be specific. And we even have other small issues, like just some people are not able to afford meals on their table, which are something of that are basic. Things like there's unemployment. With this money, we can channel them into good use to create employment. But I want us to tackle some of the most important things, like, okay, these money zimepotea and zimeenda, hatuwezi zipata, turudi kwa budgeted corruption sasa. Because nikisema corruption, the former Kiambu governor, we all know him.
Yes.
Ferdinand Waititu was charged na spent 5 months in custody. Hatujui kama alikuwa prison. We were told that he was in prison. Kuna rumors that he was not in prison. Alikuwa ameiba 581 million Kenyan shillings. That is what he was charged with. Then akapelekwa to prison. Then apparently this guy has been released on 58 million. So it's like investment. Corruption. Do you think corruption right now is an investment in Kenya?
Corruption is an entrepreneurship. It's a business. And it's a business that has licenses, has approvals, and has the backing of the government. And this is the cost of corruption. And I think Kenyans sometimes they blame the government, not knowing that the government is saying the truth. This is what I mean. When the government says they don't have money, it is true they don't have money. But it is not true that money did not come to government that was enough to cater for all our services. What is true is what is in their account, the money that they are supposed to use to deliver services to Kenyans, is not available. But money is always moving through the accounts. However, this account is like a tank or a water tank or a season that has a lot of holes. So you're pouring water, but it's like you're pouring water on a net. So the moment the water hits that object, it spills out. So there's nothing left. And whatever now is left, body is, trying to grab it and use it here and there. This is the cost of corruption. One, you've mentioned a few things, but there is something that I think this government is targeting a lot, and that is education and health. And they are so bent on focusing that area specifically. One, capitation has an issue. So you reduce from 22 million to 22,000 to 16,000. Go to help. How many students are going to miss help? I saw, was it 45,000 or something around there? Because the billions that has been cut off from help, they cannot be able to afford. Then the president is a master of creating a mess and then solving it himself. He creates a problem of capitation. The Minister for Finance himself says there is no money. Then the president comes on with his dogs and he says, no, that's not true. We have a lot of money. We cannot discard this. This is something that must be there. Primary and secondary. Where is the capitation? The minister does not have the money. So probably he knows where the money is. Two, about university education. I think he doesn't want Kenyans to study a lot. He doesn't want Kenyans to be an academic society. He wants the children of the poor not to go to universities. That's the whole point of not providing help. He studied with boom. They were calling it boom in his time, where everything was funded by the government. But today, even what the government has already budgeted, they are not agreeing for it to go there. Now, this is how budgeted corruption works. Remember, the parliament passed bills, and they passed bills to provide money for the education sector. They passed money for health sector. They pass money for many other ministries and services that the government is supposed to supply to Kenyans. But does this money really get to do the services they are doing? It doesn't. It ends up being sent to people, to people's pockets. And that's why year after year, the Auditor General keeps on complaining that the government of Kenya cannot be able to account for the money they are using. You go to an entire ministry, they have used 2 billion, but they cannot show you the paperwork. And these people are still left in the office and they're not questioned by anyone. That's how you know this is a budgeted corruption, because nobody will be held responsible. And right now, I don't think, okay, I have no faith at all that the current regime, not even EACC, can be able to handle the corruption we are having in this country. Because look at it, the system are existing just to serve one clique of Kenyans, and that is the political class. No one else. And therefore, the reason they have budgeted the corruption is to make sure that you and me, we do not progress, and therefore we remain at their mercy.
Let us leave aside the ones that we cannot account for, because kuna corruption inaendelea that we cannot prove, especially when Auditor General can say that this amount of money was used in. But what of these other cases that is public, everybody is aware of, but nothing is happening? For example, see, we had people like Kina Waiguru. Everybody knows that Akwakwa NYS scandal, and he actually ended up serving terms. She actually ended up serving terms as a governor. So that circle back to Ata CCP, CC the voters, why we elect these people. Because bado tuko na shida si Waititu. We elected him, knowing very well that this is Waititu. When we elect Sonko, we know that very well this is Sonko. And you still find that the same things will happen with different election. I don't know if it is going to happen in the next general election. I don't know, don't want to say that. Sure. I don't want to say that. Yeah, but that also brings us to the next question of, when we elect these people, they have power, so they control a lot of things that happens in Kenya. I want us to talk about the state capture thing, because the other day, when you saw what happened with the allegation now that even the speaker himself is under the pocket of the president. And if we leave the speaker in the National Assembly as an entity or as a body, let us circle back to vitu kama the police. We have also the issue that the police is under state capture. Tukirudi kwa the judiciary, the lawyers, the judges, the courts, and everything that they are under state capture. And everything that they do is actually they answer to a higher power. Yes. Which most people have put allegations on the president, that they have allegations on this thing. So how are we going to deal with the state capture? Because just the simple aspect of justice is not being served in Kenya. Tuko na watu, they're still fighting for their rights all the way from 2022, from 2024 protest, and that tukiachana the protest aside. Justice, is the justice system of Kenya working?
It's not, and I don't think there is any help that you can do about, there's anything we can do about the state capture until William Ruto and his clique is out of power. I don't think there's anything we are going to do about that. A story is told about Kidero when he became the governor of Nairobi. I was told this by a close person to him, that when he came into power, Kidero, the first few days, he was given some honeymoon. Then one day he was called to a meeting, and he was told that there are people who want to see you. And I hear he kept on refusing to go to the meeting. Then finally, he decided, okay, let me go and hear what these people are saying, because they were insistent, and it is handlers who were pushing him to go to the meeting. When he entered the meeting, it had the who is who in the city. And he was told, what you're seeing here, these are the city godfathers. And they have prepared a gift for you. And I hear he was offered an autobiography, brand new, the time he was elected. And he rejected the gift. And he was warned that by rejecting the gift, you have signed yourself off from being a governor. And I believe that's why he became a one-term governor. So it happened with Sonko, where you know that he was contacted to be offered 50 million per day. And Sakaja here is collecting now 100 million. 50 he takes to Mkubwa, and then 50.
Who is Mkubwa?
Of course, Mr. Know-it-all. I have everything that all the former presidents have had, Ruto. So those are things that are in public domain. There's nothing we are saying that's not factual. These are things that have been moving on in the public domain. So when we talk about state capture, it's a situation where someone in the capacity of a president can order the governors to be collecting money for him. So governors are not free to do whatever they want to do. 2, it is a situation where the police can ignore cases concerning Kenyans and they only handle cases as instructed by the state. As what happened to Albert Ojwang. He was sanctioned to be arrested simply because someone higher up in the administration wanted him to be arrested. And because they knew nothing could happen to them, they decided to kill Albert. So this is state capture. Look at what has happened in the last few weeks. Gachagua was to be arrested because of speaking. This was the thing of Kibunja called cohesion and integration something. They can arrest someone for speaking against the government and they call it hate speech. But when Kamketo Sudi speaks, no police, not even the CIC, inaitangwa CI, whatever it is, that National Cohesion
the ethics body,
cohesion, the one led by Kibunja. They don't do anything. That's how you know the state has been captured. The other thing is, right now, and I think Gachagua is so right because they know him very well. Ruto is the supplies officer, is the procurement officer, he is the accounting officer, he is everything in every ministry. I hear he knows the procurement department more than he knows the PSs and the CSs in those ministries. Those are the people he talks to every day. So this is state capture, and as opposed to Uhuru, the current state capture is by the president himself. He's the one who is controlling everything. Tell me, Ademba, if Ruto is not the one who has taken the state capture, then explain to me why, whenever the government has a position, Ruto comes in and he changes everything immediately. Tell me why Ruto has gone back to the times of Moi, where he issues directions on top of his car, or when he has the microphone. I think Ruto loves microphone so much that he governs by microphone rather than a boardroom meeting. He doesn't know how to, I think, point out points to his ministers in a boardroom meeting. He has to do it in the public baraza. Then ministers rush to act on what the president said in a particular public baraza. Tell me why every time the president goes to a meeting with the leaders from different parts of this country, he offers them a project. Do you remember when he met the Tharaka Nithi people, the Tharaka County? What did he promise? A bridge that will cost billions. And he said it will be launched this week or next week. So he issues directives. He does not rule by policy. He rules by
the microphone.
This is how you know exactly by macro. This is how you know there is a state capture. And the person who has taken the state capture, it is not anyone else, but President William Ruto himself. So nothing can work. Everyone works when the president has said. So, and who is the nearest to the president? His family. That's why the matatus of his children cannot be controlled in the city. The MPs, they cannot do anything. Now we go to, I almost forgot what you had asked about Wetangula. Wetangula has become as bold as Halwale said very well, he has become the UDA activist. And he presented the proof yesterday in Senate that indeed the National Assembly Speaker has ceased to become non-partisan. He is now one-sided. He is only concerned about the policies of the government of the day, not the National Assembly.